Hey folks, welcome back to Active Self-Protection. I am Christopher Bean with Tactical Advantage, and this is the next episode of Developing a Superlative Draw.
Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff building handgun and carbine skills and are your most economical and fastest path to improvement in your skills too. Whether you choose the X10, the Laser Academy, the Blackbeard, or use them all in concert, they will help your practice be more effective, efficient, and fun. Go check them out, pick up a unit, and thank them for sponsoring today's video.
Okay, so what we're talking about today is getting that initial firing hand grip on the gun and a couple methods to get to that. So first things first, I want to show you guys we have an empty pistol. We are in my dry fire space. And let's really kind of talk about what we need to do here. It's actually pretty simple. We have already talked about the clear and getting your cover garment out of the way. Now the next natural step is kind of getting a grip on that gun to get it out of the holster. Really all we're trying to do is set ourselves up for success. Now there's a couple different methods that we can go after this. So with the gear I wear, my gun actually goes out from my body just a little bit. So I'll go in, the cover garment is clear and goes straight down. And my thumb actually goes behind the gun a little bit. So we can show you what that looks like. So I have plenty of real estate right here. My fingers are just curled enough to get the gun out of the holster. And again, trigger finger in high register. So really when I go in to get my grip, how I do it is straight down, and then I can hit my DCC clip right here, so I know my trigger finger is actually in the right spot and my thumb is actually behind the gun. Really I think that developed because for the longest time I was carrying a gun with a larger beaver tail. So doing alternative methods didn't work as well for me, and it's just kind of burned in and myelinated into the way I do things. Now a secondary method that most people use, I want to clarify that, is it's called the claw or the thumb behind the slide of the gun. So we'll show you what that looks like. Thumb is directly in line with the back strap and behind the slide, fingers still curled, trigger finger still in high register. So with that, let's move into the next step. So what do these fingers need to do to set us up to actually get to the next position? So when I go in, really all I'm trying to do, and it's kind of before I even get there, I'm putting my hands or my fingers into the position I want them in. So with mine, with finger behind the gun itself, so right there, that's what we're looking at from the moment I get to that gun. So these fingers slightly curled, whack, up and out. From thumb behind slide, whack, up and out. We'll do that a couple times just to isolate the movement. Try it both ways. Thumb behind slide, and then thumb between the gun and my stomach. Okay, so we've got that pretty repeatable. I suggest you practice both methods. That way you're not kind of tied into any specific thing. You're efficient at all of them. So if your body position or something like that dictates another method, you're prepared to utilize that method at will. So next, we want to kind of test how does that work with getting the gun out. Okay, no problem, no problem. And I hope you can tell that I'm trying both methods. So next let's talk about the bounce or the stab. There's a myriad of ways you can kind of talk about it, but it's using momentum to actually help the gun come out of the holster. And how you do that is you just want to put a little bit of downward pressure as your hand actually meets the gun. And when that happens, you have kind of a little bit of a bounce that happens with your belt. And it actually kind of pushes it out of the holster. And we can kind of test that or work on that just again by isolating that. And you can kind of feel it just with that much movement. Like you can just watch the finger on the DCC clip and see that it kind of wants to let go and come out a little quicker. So with that, since we've isolated that, just before I close out this video, I want to get a couple draws in. Just because I've isolated that skill and I want to kind of pay particular attention and analyze what's happening in the beginning of the draw, just to make sure I'm doing what I think I'm doing. So we'll kind of increase speed slowly over a few repetitions to go to full speed and see if anything kind of falls apart. All right, let's get a couple draws in. It's really early on a Sunday morning, so I need to do this anyway. So, okay, pretty good shape. So full presentation. Okay, thinking about this time I want to do like a claw method, so I want to do like thumb behind the gun. Okay, good, good. So now thumb between the back and my stomach. There we go. All right, so let's get a couple reps in. That felt good, had a pretty decent bounce. Now this part isn't exaggerated. It just kind of happens with a little bit of force. And you actually hear that with people with a well-developed draw. You hear like almost like a crack where they make contact with the gun and the gun comes out of the holster. Whack! Like that. So you get an audible feedback piece too when you're actually getting enough momentum to get that gun out quickly. Two more, two more. Okay, one more. And then we'll just do one at full speed, and then we're gonna break it down in reverse and just check everything and make sure we're where we need it to be. Okay, so let's take a look and see. Okay, we still got real estate open. We've got plenty of room right here. Trigger finger where it's supposed to be, and we've got good contact, good curl onto the front strap of the gun. We should be good to go. So next time we're actually going to talk about getting that grip initiated for presentation and how we can kind of again set ourselves up for success and repeatability to make sure we have a good strong grip going to the target that allows us to shoot and use the gun as we would like to when coming from the holster. So see you guys next time. Keep up the good work. Thank you.